I think so. I think China is more communitarian society. For example, when I was still a primary school student, we expect our teachers to achieve harmony, on which long term are built on. What the teachers say to us is less important than how it is said. Relationships are very highly valued. Also, when I was more, my family used to have regular activities and gathering. For example, when we celebrating the Chinese New Year, we and our relatives and friends will come to visit each other. We prefer to stay as a group. We see the value of we instead of I. So what about Portugal?
Portugal is also a communitarianism-oriented country. During my school time, many times kids made decisions based on group of friends that they were in. For example, I decided to pick the same subjects with my bunch of friends so we could stay in the same class.
Compared to Portugal, I think China is focused more on relationship building than rules and regulations. We look at relationship and circumstances in a specific situation to decide what is right. When I was more, my primary school result was not really well. I have failed to pass the entrance examination for my favorite school. But one of my uncle knew the principal of that school, so that I can still study in this school even if I failed the entrance examination. Is Portugal work like this?
Not really. Portugal is a universalist culture. In Portugal, the rules and laws are set fairly and they are applied in the same way for the prime minister or any other normal citizen. For example, I couldn't get into a school that I wanted when I was a kid, even though my parents knew the owner of that school. So relationships are valued, but rules come first before relationships. So, what about the way Chinese people express their emotions?
I think we Chinese people are more likely to express our emotion naturally. Reaction are immediate through the use of our mimic and body signals. For example, when I was a secondary student, I really love to express my feeling in class. Whatever the teacher said, I will express my opinion. However, in some cases, we may even display positive emotion when we might not be feeling it. I think Portugal is the same, right?
Yes, almost the same. Portuguese are emotional as well. People like to use body language while communicating. In the school, we were encouraged to express our ideas and thoughts when we don't agree with professors or colleagues. So, is there any separation between work and private life in China?
Not really. The separation of work and private life in China wasn't really strong. For example, my parents always invite their colleagues to our house for gathering. They eat and drink together. They see each other as a friend, not just colleagues. How about the people in Portugal?
Portuguese people see an overlap between their work and personal life. Many times, business partners become very good friends. As an example, I have many colleagues whose parents work in the same place, and that was the reason they got to know each other. Are the people in China more achievement oriented or ascription oriented?
Ascription is more important in China compared to other countries. The educational structure in China has its root in cultural and historical emphasis on examination and precursor for any promotion to advancement. When I still study in China, I concentrate on memorizing material without asking questions or discussing the contents. As a student in China, we expect to be told what to do. The teacher in China are often follow content from the textbook. What about Portuguese?
Portugal is an ascription-oriented culture as well. Portuguese people awards status according to age. Since very little, I was taught to call sir or madam to elder seniors and showing a lot of respect.
Created using Powtoon.